welcome Hungwanas. So today we are going to be delving into the art of creating a website on Canva. So we have done one of these before, but I wanted to do a better one now that I know how to use Canva, like how to use that particular design service. So I'm going to go to the create right here. It's pretty new. It hasn't been around for very long. So go to the websites area. So you can choose whether you want to do just a blank website. There are other options to choose from. You can choose these blocks, and these blocks will allow you to be able to create use a template versus just doing it by yourself. And you can choose a business website, portfolio, education, retail, buy one link, and service website. There's so many to choose from. But today I'm going to be just choosing a blank template. So this is what it gives you. It's great because just like a normal website, like Show It, or like, or even just like WordPress, you can just open and close the sections. It's very versatile. So obviously at the beginning of a website, you would have a menu. So we're just going to play around with a website. So we're going to just play around with if I were to remake a website for myself. So these are all the logos I have for Hungwana Boss Collective. This was my old logo for Hungwana Boss Society when I first rebranded, and then I rebranded with Hungwana Boss Collective. These were both made inside of Canva, and then I realized that I need a handmade logo. So then this one came around, this Hungwana Boss Collective. And then we've got the Members Club one, 2 Member Club one, and then a 3rd Members Club one. And then we have just the standard name logo in 3 colors, so pink, white, and gold. So basically you want to pick the one that is suited for here. So I chose the main one, and so I'll just put it in the direct middle. You can also choose to put it on the side or on the other side. It really depends. Most people do put it on either this side or in the direct middle. So the direct middle is the spot I'll be choosing today. And the next thing I'm going to do is just go to text. And you want to pick your fonts. And you can get fonts off of Creative Market or Creative Fabrica, or just Google fonts to download. You can edit them. So these are all the different fonts I have. This is the way that you would add new ones. So you just press Add New, and then you would go to Downloads, and you would download a new font, and then choose to add it. So we're not going to do that today. I have my fonts I've chosen. So I'm just going to use this one here. Since this is my menu, we're just going to type in general pages here. So we've got home, blog. So it'll stay in a line for you. And then about. And most people, like I said, they just have 3 on either side, but it all depends on what you want for your website. Just make sure it's spaced the same. The next is usually a portfolio, depending on what your website is about. And services, if you're a services-based business. And then there. And then I would put what would I put? Shop. So you might have a shop where you have some things to sell. So yeah, evenly divide them up. See, that's there. Let's make sure that's in the middle again of the two. So yeah, and then you might want to add a color. So that doesn't have to be completely white, but just make sure. See, this is the original Hungwana Society. I changed it to collective just because I just feel like it sounds better. But yeah, these are the Hungwana Collective colors. So pick one of your colors from your brand. Make sure that you can easily see everything, and then it also doesn't like ruin the way that I would choose either this one or this one. I mean, you could choose white if you want to, but you have to make something that stands out. So I'm going to be using the pink. So then I go to the next section here, and I would not choose the same color for the next section. So I'm going to here. So you can see here, and you can also use other websites for reference. So even my website, Hungwana Collective, but you can use any website you want for reference. Just search up the type of website that you're trying to create. So whether it's for photography, for just a creator website, or social media agency, or a cooking website, a blog, whatever you're trying to do, just look up a specific type of website, and then you'll be able to find some to use as a reference. And you can always go on WordPress itself and find templates, but specifically if you want, because you can check out free templates when you're using WordPress, but yeah, you can also just look up website templates, and you can go on Creative Market or Etsy, and you can see free demos of websites, and that can give you ideas of how to create your own. So yeah, this is the next section here. And then after you're done this one, I would lock this, because you don't want to move any of this stuff around. And then the next thing I would do is I would grab a photo. So you could go to Canva here, and you could type in like for instance this, two creators sitting there talking, but specifically most people on the homepage of their site, they're introducing themselves. So I would use a photo of yourself, which is what I will do. So I'm just going to use this photo of myself. And then what you can do is you can go and look up a frame. I'm just going to use this frame right here. So here's the frame. There we go. So there's me. I'm actually going to change the color. So I'm going to change this to this gray charcoal color. And then I'm going to put myself here. And you can edit the photo here if you want to, or anything else. Yeah, you can edit the photo. One thing you could do is if you wanted to add a backdrop or page lift, want it to be angled. If you want it to be outlined, so let's say you want the photo to be outlined. Yeah, that doesn't look very good. So yeah, I just would leave that alone. Yeah, I would just leave it alone. So there's that. And then the next thing I would do is I would take the text So take text, make sure it's white so that it stands out. And then I would just say, hello, welcome, or hello, my name is, and since this is just like a play website, I'm just gonna say, hey, this is Natalie. So I'm not creating a website specifically for myself. I'm creating a website to show you guys how to create a website for yourself. So this is a test website. Let's go here, and then I do kind of wish that I could. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. There we go. So my name is Natalie, and then you would just type in whatever about yourself, just a mid-excerpt, like 3 sentences maximum. Because on your about page, you're gonna have a longer excerpt about yourself. So go to the next section here. Make it so big. Then you can choose the pink again. I like to go back and forth from colors because it does look nice. And then I'm gonna take this and make sure that you change it back to the darker color so that it stands out. And so the next thing I would add is, if you are a blog, I would just say my featured blog posts, and then just make sure that's centered. And then what you could do is you take this. I'm going to change the photo, of course. Just go to photos and look for digital creators. So put that guy in there. This girl. So just put some of those. Obviously, this will naturally be your blog post, so it'll be whatever photos that are on your blog. You also don't have to have it square. I'm just gonna remove this. And just duplicate, and then duplicate. There it is. Just so they're all the same size. There we go. And then it should have words here. So I'll just take. It should have a date, words, and a category. That's what it'll say on each one of these. So we're gonna move them a bit. There we go. So yeah. It might not even be as spread out as this, but it just depends how you want it to look. So yeah, and then I would kind of center this again. Even if it's not centered to the page, I would center it to the blog post. And then the next section here is I would then go back to the other color, and I would lock this page here. And then I would come here, I'd make sure to change the, and then I would lock this. Make sure ways. I'm actually going to change that. Yeah, I'm going to make sure this is more in the middle. Just because it makes more sense that way. Don't want everything to be out of line. And then sometimes you might just want to like do a quote. A quote that means something to you. And then for this one, because it's just a quote, it just can be mid. It doesn't have to be like super big or anything. So far this is what we have. This is what you can build. You can do a lot more advanced builds too. So one thing that's really cool is if you want to, you go here and you can animate this. So you can animate that. Another thing is you can animate So you can animate that. There's lots of different ways. Different ways. So the next thing, and then you can just go to here to preview your website. So that's when you would see the animated features for your website, which is really cool. I think they're really working on a lot of features to make this even better for creators. You still can't add like products to sell and like do that, but you can have like a link in bio that's, you know, has links that work and stuff like that, as far as I know, because you can just go here and you can just link anything you want to. You're always able to do that with other pages as well. So there, I go here, and then I'm going to change it back to the beautiful pink color. And then take this again, go back to the other color. And at this point, since you are a blog, if you have a portfolio, give them a quick peek. But I would do services next. So services. You can just do services, whatever you like and prefer. Make it a little bigger. And then just put like, let's say, client management. Put that there. Do editing. Website design. So yeah, this is everything you can offer, and then obviously you would have an excerpt. You'd have a little mini excerpt underneath these, just describing your service. You can even have the cost breakdown. So why, so the cost breakdown is just more than just the cost. It would actually show what you're charging for and why it's, so if you're charging for like a transformation, then you would show what transformation they would go through taking these and getting these done from you specifically. Another thing I would do is I would find some way to, so I would take this, and have like a divider between services. And you also can have like a photo if you want to. I would lower this a little bit. You can have a photo above your services just to show what they are if you wanted to have that, or you can have icons. So you could go to, you can go here and do icons. So this is where we can get into something really cool. So let's just do editing. So if you're editing, you can use this icon. If you are designing, just this icon, and then I would just make it the same color as your other icon. So I would do this one for client management actually. So make sure it's about the same size as your other one. And then I would just do graphic design icon. So we like that first one. Yeah, this one would be good enough. This one, yeah, this one's cute. Actually, they all like kind of fit. They all kind of fit like the same kind of theme, I would say. You don't want like one, like, for instance, in this style, and then the rest like this. So if you like the outline version, do that. If you like these kind of ones, do these. There's also other styles too. Like, it all depends what you like. I think I actually like this one better. And then make sure they all line up with each other in the words too. So that would be that, and then you can make sure to like, you can cut it off right there if you want to. You can add a little bit more. I probably would make this go all the way down page for myself, and then go to the next one. This is where it's gonna look really good because then it's gonna have that, and then here I'm gonna actually add the next header here. And I'm gonna make that pink because I'm gonna show you guys how to do a footer. So I'm just gonna take this. So normally you wouldn't call it a footer, but you wouldn't have a footer in there. You just know it's a footer. But if you don't know anything about website design or very little, this is we call the menu header area, and this is like an about excerpt, welcome people to your site, and then you've got your featured blog posts, so just making sure that each section is locked, just so that it stays the way it is. Okay, so we're gonna go here too, we're going to do that. And so like I was telling you, you've already done like your welcoming, you've done your little blog excerpt, you've done your about excerpt, you've done your services excerpt. So you can either do a portfolio or a shop at this time. You can also, if you want to, do an Instagram carousel. You do an Instagram carousel here, and basically you would just take the photos, you just take the photos that you use for Instagram and just place them here. But for specifically for what's it called? Canva, I don't think that's necessarily a tool you can utilize, but like it's almost like for Canva, it's like a mock-up of your website. So you're making a mock-up. You're kind of like using it to map out your website. If you're using it on like you're doing on another platform that actually hosts the website and provides you with a domain and provides you with the ability to host products and sell things. So yeah, you can have this Instagram carousel if you are using this specifically to map out your website. Now if you're not, and you actually want to use this as a mini website like a link in bio, or a media kit, or whatever it is, then you can use this right here as a portfolio preview. And what that is basically you would go and you would have your photos here. So I'm gonna just go to photos, and I'm just gonna take some photos, and I'm gonna go to elements, and I'm gonna get a frame. I don't know if you see this fly. Flies are attracted to the indoors this window. Left the window open too long. So we'll just take this, and I would copy it. I'd actually make this just a little bit bigger so that you can go and move these down a bit. Don't want those in here to ruin anything for you. Maybe even just down just a little farther. And then I would get an arrow because don't need an arrow like that. Just there we go. Now I change that to white just because we are dealing with a black background. So there, flip this around. There we go. Just make sure it's lined up. Perfect. So that's lined up good. Next thing is to put the photos in. So just go to photos, find some digital creators, or use photos of your own. So this is just for show. We're just doing this for show. I'll show you how to do it. The tutorial. So you can see that's really cool. And then what you can do is you can go and you can animate these. So go to animate, you choose to have it appear. This one, instead of animating again. Yeah, I'm gonna do that actually. I like that. I'm gonna take that. Each gonna do rising photo. So it should, one photo should appear at a time and they should rise together. Yep. And then if you want to animate the words, you don't necessarily have to, but you can. So that's that, and it looks really cool. And if you had like a WordPress or a show website, you could actually click these buttons and it would take you to the next row of images. So you could have the images go on and on. But these are just for show, as something you can do for your own website. So yeah. Next thing too is like, once you have another page, I'll show you how to do that. So the footer. Footer is really important. So you want to make sure that you have copyright. Since, like I said, I chose Natalie, but I'll just do HBC. HBC. And then just copyright 2025. 25. Now I'm going to be changing this font just to make it easy to read. Simple. So there we go, there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I have privacy. some people put all of their things in a privacy policy, like their refunds, their I'm just gonna put here, their disclaimers, their terms and conditions. For me, I like to have them separate. Refund policy. That way it's easy for people to click on a specific one and know where they're going. So a lot of times too is you'll have a bottom menu. So you just put menu, or at this point you could do a pop-up menu if you want to. So menu. Technically you wouldn't have to put menu there, but just for the purpose of this. And then you could have your home, about me. I honestly would just choose your most important pages, pages that you want people to go to when they're scrolling downwards. So I'll just go to that. And then make sure you have a connect. So if this is a real menu, like above here, you would actually be able to like have things come down and like, so you could have vlog and then you could have your categories, have these open. So like your about could have like, when you click on it, it could show connect with me. You could have things underneath that would be more specific. Like for instance here, this is a drop down. You'd have a drop down menu, but currently that's not possible with this. So we're going to utilize what we do have to use. So yeah, so what I was going to tell you is you can actually link these to these pages. So we will, for instance, just show you on this next page. We have the About Me page, and I'm gonna go and make sure we got the right text. So the About Me thing is this particular duplicate section. So yeah, you can duplicate sections. If like, for instance, you wanted another row of posts under here before the portfolio, and you wanted them to look a little different, you could do that. So for here, if you link here, so I go here, and I copy a link to this page, and then I go here, and I link this page. So done. So just put About Me. So when somebody clicks, so we go to preview website. We go to page 2. That has, yeah, you definitely don't want this to animate. And yeah, you're gonna see it on mobile too, how it looks, and you can go and change that as well. Oh, sorry, just stretching leg. Went dead on me for a second. Okay, So yeah, you're gonna see that in the section. We will fix that. So yeah, we don't want this animated at all. No animation. Remove. You can just easily click each one and remove. I don't know how I got animation on it. Okay, awesome. So yeah, that shouldn't animate anymore, which is good. And then another thing is you should have your logo again. You can have a different logo, so I'm just going to put this one here. So you can have your logo here. And yeah, so this is just like, I'm wondering why the link didn't work. Okay, so let's see. Yes, now that will go to About Me every time you click on it. So as long as it has an underline underneath it, you'll be able to actually change it. So cool thing is too, is you can do the same thing for the bottom here. So I can link that to this page. Done. So yeah, so I go here, and then you can name it too if you want to, but you don't have to. Yeah, it'll go straight to the About Me, whether we're down here or whether we're up here. So that's really positive. So you can spend your time linking that. I'm not really I'm not designing the entire website. I'm just designing the homepage for you guys so that you can see. But yes, that is how you do the links, is you just click on them, link, and then you pick wherever you want it to link to. And also here, you can just link it to whatever page. You can have as many pages as you want to. As far as I know, there's not a limit on how many pages you can have. But yeah, you can just name them, and then it will go to the page that you want it to. So then it's easy to delete pages too. Just click on them, and it's easy to find this little menu here. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative and taught you a little bit about how to do a layout for your website. You could totally make this into a creator website if you're not needing really specialized apps and plugins needed. If you will, you'll need more advanced technology for that. You definitely can't have a blog on it quite yet, but yeah, there's just lots of things you can have. Like you can do it for a portfolio, you can do it for showing your services, maybe not payment of your services quite yet, and not necessarily your shop either. But I mean, I guess you could link it to your Stan store or another place where it does allow you to pay, Thrivecart. So in some ways, I guess there are ways you could get around it, but we definitely need to work on the website building app part of Canva. But so far, I think it's really awesome for people who want to not have to just do everything written by hand when they're designing a website, or like when they're doing the layout of a website. It's pretty cool to just drag and drop the photos and pictures and words and everything. And it's also nice to have this little branded section where you have your logos, colors, fonts, and pretty much everything you would need to design your website. So I think eventually when Canva does have more advanced features for that, you will be able to build a full website. Will you need to probably link it with WordPress or another hosting provider? Probably. I don't see Canva becoming a hosting provider, because even when you go to, say, publish the website, you can use you create your own site URL, but I'm not seeing that it's like hosted by anything particularly. I mean, I guess Canva hosts it a little bit, but they're not like charging you as a hosting provider and allowing you to sell things and to do things like that quite yet. So it's just a very basic website, way for you to build like a link in bio without having to necessarily use another platform. But I mean, there are free Linktree and beacons and stuff. So, but this definitely you can make more advanced. So you can make more advanced link in bio and use any colors you want, any fonts you want. So, in a way, yeah, it's a really cool thing that they're building, and I'm looking forward to using it more. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you've been enjoying the upgrade to my setup with the captions, and I am totally looking forward to designing more websites on different platforms to help you guys learn. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, and thanks for being here. I guess.